This is Mile High.
Do I want to tell the story or do I want to show the message?
You've got a lot of work to do between Mile High.
The time has come where we can know
we have a responsibility, an ethical and moral responsibility.
We have to do it better in order to move people along.
Up, down, inside out.
If you get your mind right, it is not. It is a receiver of thought. Because love is my first technique.
it's now time for the show.
Welcome to the Mile High Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Danny Knowles. Thank you for joining us. We're at 5,280 feet. Wherever you are, we hope you are hitting subscribe so you never miss any Mile High tick. And most certainly, always dial in to be at Mile High Live every year. Rise up to milehigh.com is where you can details specifically about the live event, and all our podcasts and the Mile High directory you can find at milehighchiro.org. By the way, if you're not in the Mile High directory, get your practice there so we can refer people to you. And this particular episode is going to be a very important episode for you to attract more new patient prospects. I will tell you that Perfect Patients has been incredible for our chiropractic office, and they can help you. Lauren Lofts, she's the director of sales and marketing with Perfect Patients, and over the last 6 years, she has elevated thousands of chiropractic websites. She elevated ours. We had so many struggles with it for so many years, and they have helped us tremendously. Thank you for being with us here today, Lauren.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Danny. Always a pleasure.
Now, before we say more about Perfect Patients, what I would like to say, because you've helped so many lifetime wellness practices and our practice in different, particularly I'll say some things about our practice. How did you get dialed in to being focused on chiropractic? I mean, you personally, how did you find yourself as like, wow, chiropractic is an area that I really enjoy helping?
Sure. Yeah. So my personal journey to chiropractic, my mother actually is very holistic and health oriented. So my whole life, I grew up not visiting a traditional doctor. I was very confused when people said, "Who's your GP? Who's your primary physician?" And I would say, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have one." So holistic healthcare was always something that we, focused on. And so chiropractic found its way into my life just through a myriad of approaches for overall wellness and health. So my mom actually got into body work and body talking, and then had us visit chiropractors just to get that spinal alignment and neurological help and all that too. So it's been a wellness support in our family for a long time.
Well, that's excellent. Excellent. So then it's really great when something professionally lines up with personal values.
Absolutely. Yep.
Great.
It's been a lot of fun.
Good. Excellent. Now, I'll start off with sharing my story on this. We, for many years, for our chiropractic office, struggled with our website. I mean, with getting misled down many roads and spending a lot of revenue and not getting anywhere close to the results that we wanted. And after many providers and people saying things like, "Oh, well, we have a website," even though we just got to fix our search engine or something, and things like that. It really dialed in when finally we took action on working with Perfect Patients. So I made a transformational difference in our office, truly, on the digital side. Now, first of all, let's start with asking some things of the digital landscape, because the digital landscape is kind of big. There's lots of things we put attention, energy towards. For a chiropractor, a brick and mortar chiropractic office in some town, right?
Yeah.
What is their most valuable area of digital landscape?
Sure. So obviously my answer will be biased, but it all comes down to your website. right? So even if you have a great social media presence, even if you have great reviews, great referral programs, everyone's going to do their research is this the right chiropractor for me? And the way that they get to see that is through each of those landscapes, right? So it's difficult to say that one is more important than the other because they're all going to cohesively work together. But if you don't have a website in this day and age, that is a bit concerning. So everything points back to the website. The website is, we kind of speak about it in the terms of, okay, we're about back to school now, right? So the website is the classroom. That is where you get to know and learn about the practice, what services you have, what to expect. Your social media is where you get to give a little more personality, a little more fun. That's the cafeteria, that's recess, that's lunchroom, right? And then your reviews is when, people get to give that feedback. So the website is super important for the professional side, or like the classroom area of how you're represented and the information you want your potential patients and current patients to be able to access.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And again, I've noticed chiropractors spend lots of time and lots of money in that recess area.
Yeah.
Okay. And think it's going to get a return and then not necessarily get, and not that you don't want to like not do that area.
Sure.
Not avoid social media. I mean, I do a lot on social media. However, I find them do a lot in boosted ads and Facebook and all kinds of things, but then not have a place the person's going to that represents them well, or even that they can find.
Yeah, so the website gives you an opportunity to give that, professionalism, and then bring your vision and your values to life. What can patients expect when they come to your practice? Why should they choose you? This is a healthcare decision. It's emotional, right? I want to know who's going to be caring for me and my health and my family. So I more than likely is what we see is you're not going to base that only on a social media post or your social media presence or your reviews. You're going to look at all of those things combined, and then that website really pulls to life your vision and your values and kind of and pulls it together. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Great. Now, I have the conversations with people, and you probably have too, like, oh, I have a website, I don't need one. And
Yeah.
and then they're like cousin made it or something like that.
Right.
So what are some of the common, I'm sure you've seen things where you're like banging your head against your wall or something like that. What are some, I mean, I do, and I don't know anything, technically about things. What are the things that you've seen people have as mistakes?
Yeah.
Most commonly that you're like, oh, please just do something different.
Right. I think the biggest one that I really do palm to face every time is if I get on a website and I have no idea where you are. I don't know what town you're in. I don't know what city you're in. I don't know what state you're in, and I don't know what country you're in. So, it's just, how would anyone know? How would anyone be able to find you? You might have, even if you have an address, sometimes it's just like 123 Main Street, but like there's no zip code, so contact information, like just help Google and help your patients. Obviously, if you're missing contact information or an address on your site, then hopefully the only way people are finding your website is direct, so they would know where you're at. But if you want any help from Google or anything like that, missing address is one. So contact information on the homepage, very visible. If that's missing, that's just a very basic, but a mistake that I see too often than I like to see.
Right. Right. And then that misinformation that affects their SEO through their Google page too, right?
Right. So the one thing about like a brick and mortar in person, right? You have to have local search engine optimization for Google to help you out at all, right? So if you
Okay.
expect to get any new patients from your website, if Google doesn't know where you are, i.e., the address on your website or any local SEO, you will not show up for any kind of chiropractic related searches in your area. So they would need to be already know about you. They would need to be looking for you by name. And so having your address and then local optimization is so important. So not just chiropractor near me, not just chiropractor. It has to have that local specifier that I am in Boulder, I am in Missoula, right? So that's a big common one. A lot of the self-made websites that we see, the mistake would be there is no SEO, or instead of an optimized, say, title tag or header, these are kind of some technical terms, but this is what Google is actually crawling the website for, to find what you're relevant to or what your website's relevant for. So they need to know practice name and then where you're located with your main keyword. So a lot of times we'll see a homepage title tag, which should say something like Boulder Chiropractor, Network Family, so having your name in there, it'll just say home. Because that's, what it defaults to, and it's just homepage and that. So you're missing out on a huge opportunity to tell Google what you're relevant for. Of course, there's a lot more that goes into SEO, and that's going to depend on your, competition and area, but having like basic local specifiers, your address. Another mistake we see, Dr. Danny, is photos. If I look at a website, now I'll do two of these on the mistakes. So one, if I look at a website and your picture is not anywhere to be found, can you imagine making such a personal, such an emotional decision, having no idea where this place is, what this person looks like what can I expect? You've missed that opportunity to build even the tiniest bit of connection and emotional rapport. So whether or not you like to have your picture taken or not, you can have more candid photos interacting with somebody versus just sitting there smiling, if that makes you feel better. But that just is such a huge missed opportunity to build that connection with website visitors.
Got it.
Photography, showing your face, showing your practice, showing that feel. That's a big one.
So I might get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. Before we do that, you have to have had seen some major transformation experience where it's like, this person this is where they were and this is where they ended up.
Yep. Yes.
Can you share an example of that?
As far as like from the website?
Yeah, or from starting like from where they were to, to working with perfect patients in terms of like this then happened in their practice.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, one big thing that we really focus on with perfect patients is conversion. And so this is one thing that we've really been pushing hard and want to highlight, because even if you have a website, right? Like you said, hey, I have a website, I don't need it, I'm good. Now, you don't know what you don't know, right? So who's to say your website couldn't perform a little bit better? Maybe there's some small tweaks on conversion aspects that could differentiate you a little better or improve that user journey, point them to, so there's like art and science to it, right? So this conversion stuff. So what we like to track and what we see is we can take an existing website and we see a certain number of conversion, how many times they've hit the contact page or the book now page or the call button. And what we're able to see, so Dr. Sandy Ager is a person that comes to mind right now. And she's in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and she joined Perfect Patients. Her conversion tripled 3 times.
From visits, so like, how many people visited their website and then became someone that called? Is that what you're saying? So tripled.
So conversions tripled. Now, the
Wow.
ironic thing about this is her website traffic actually stayed about the same. Okay. So she
Uh-huh.
was getting good traffic. She had a website that was ranking. It was fine. But the
Hmm.
number of people who contacted the practice tripled, which meant
Wow.
her patient numbers therefore tripled, and that was within 90 days of launching. So that just goes to show you that focus on conversion. You might
Uh-huh.
think, I have a website. My website's great. I like it. It's fine. It does the job. It's a business card. People go there, right? That's
Right.
where perfect patience comes in. We've studied thousands of sites. We look at things that are small things like where's a button placed, what does the button say, what kind of user journey is it, layout and skimmable and things like that, right? So to have somebody that says, okay, I'm getting a decent amount of website traffic, they're just not calling us, they're
Ah,
just not
right.
converting, right? And to be able to see that triple with an increased, updated design at focused on conversion, I mean, that's just one that came to mind. Huge results, great results. Yeah.
Right. And then if you end up having more people in the door, then you know that your website's been more than a business card.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, it
Right.
should be. Yeah, it should
Right.
work just as hard as you. Yeah.
Right. Right. So now with that being the case, um, how important is it for a chiropractic office, an individual chiropractor? I mean, because there's chiropractic franchises that might
Yep.
have some help with SEO because they've, got that through multiple offices, but you're an individual officer, Joe Smith, individual office, Joe Smith in a particular town in Montana. Okay.
Okay.
Why is it having good rankings, being on the first page of Google, important for you?
Yeah, the nice thing about Google is you're getting active searchers, right? So it's interception marketing. People are looking for your services. So they're looking for
Okay.
chiropractor near
Oh,
me,
that's an important thing. Interception marketing. I like that.
chiropractors. So they're already searching. Whereas, we talked about social media earlier. Social media is a little bit more of interruption, right? So they may or
Ah,
may not
got
be in
it.
the market. They may already have one and like their chiropractor. So when they're
I'm writing
actually
this down.
typing on Google,
Interruption versus interception. I like that.
yes, there you
I
go.
like that. Typing that
So your
down.
website and SEO, showing up on Google, there's hundreds and in some cases thousands of people searching for your services, for a chiropractor in your area every month. If your website is not optimized for that, you're
Uh-huh.
missing out, right? So stats will say almost 70%, 68% of website traffic will go to the
Right.
top 3 listed. So think of your own search habits. If you're looking for a barber shop, if you're looking for, you know, a roofing company, right? You're going to look around and see what shows up. Do you venture onto page 2? Are you digging into page 5 like at that point before you call someone? Like
Yeah, no. Unless all the ones on page one had bad reviews.
exactly. But see, so it's, think of your own search habits most likely. And especially in this situation, we always say they're not going to always go with the first one that shows up because, again, this is an emotional connection. Unless they're like, I'm in pain, I need somebody today, then they're probably clicking on the ads, right? But hey, I'm looking for someone to care for my family. I'm looking for a chiropractor. I just moved to town or, mine retired, whatever it
Right.
is.
Right.
Then if you're in the top 3, then you're getting that search volume. So you're getting the
Right.
website traffic. If you're number 4, your percentage of traffic goes down a little. If you're 5, if you're 6, so first page is still great, especially in competitive areas. Once you're on page 2, you're in no man's land.
Oh,
Your
that's interesting.
amount of traffic
Right.
significantly decreases. So the number of opportunities for new patients from that search volume. So it's hugely important to let Google know or have basic optimization on the site so that Google knows I'm relevant for chiropractor in Missoula. I'm relevant for chiropractor in, your town, those kinds of searches. And
Right.
then go beyond that. Pediatric chiropractor, pregnancy chiropractor, sports, what other patient niches are you seeing that you can then optimize for as well, right? So it's not just chiropractor. There's so much more search volume or search. So creating content and pages specific to those people you love serving
Right.
will increase your reach.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I cannot emphasize this is so important for people, and people don't necessarily realize it. So when you talk about that, there's two areas there. There's the first page, and then
Yep.
there's the Google Maps. I don't know if it's still called Maps or whatever it's called. You have to rank on both of those, correct?
It's definitely ideal
Okay.
because what we see as far as new patient journey is there's a couple things that impact, right? So proximity is a big one. So if they can see you on the map and they're looking and saying, I'm going to make my decision based on how close they are to my commute or where I work or where I live, then
Mhm.
you better be in the map, right? The nice thing about the map is that then they can see your reviews, they can see your ratings. Those are all really important too and impact their decision. Now they see you on the map and they go, great, you're located easy enough, close enough to me. And now I see their website or your website's ranking high. Those are both hugely important. Yes. And that's going to bring you the bulk of traffic to your site, give you those new patient opportunities. Yeah.
So now I would imagine, again, whether someone's, collaborating with Perfect Patients or wants to get a website with you, there are some keys to that. What makes it important? By the way, if I understand right, there's some kind of coming up soon referral opportunity that you guys are having for referring people to use
Yep.
Perfect Patients. Some kind of referral promotion you mentioned.
Yes. So I'll cover that really quickly. Yeah. So firsthand about our referral program. It is a unique offering that we give to our current clients. So if anyone listening to this podcast is already one of our clients or one of our accounts, then listen up. And if you want to get started, also listen up. Obviously, a ton of colleagues, and you guys know how much referrals mean to your practices. We're doing a special referral promotion. So typically, for our clients, if you refer someone, we'll give you a free month. So we reward you for sending a friend, and then we'll do a special offer for that friend as well. Now, the special promo we're implementing is kind of a double whammy. So if you refer a friend, we'll give you 2 months free, and then we'll also give a free month to your friend as well. So 2 for you, 1 for them. Now, in addition to, and maybe you can speak to this, Danny, is on top of our referral program, whoever you send, you get a free month. But if you send 12, if you send us 12 referrals, Perfect Patients will waive your website fee for life. You
Yeah,
won't pay.
that's me. That's me.
Yes.
But
So
and not, I mean, I'm really grateful to have a free website for life. I would gladly continue to pay for our website because we get such incredible outcomes. So I didn't refer people because I wanted to get a free website for life. It was because our office completely shifted in terms of the digital landscape, where we were getting that many more new patients in the door that I told people, thankfully we have someone who actually produced, deliver what they said they would deliver. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
and we believe it because you keep sending them our way and we're so grateful. But it is a great benefit that we're happy to offer to those people who sing our praises. And we're so grateful that you continue to, and that you've seen the results that you do. So yeah, it's a great program that we offer. We want to reward our clients. So regular promo is 1 free month for anyone you send. Right now we're doubling it, or soon we'll have that promo. And then if you send 12 or more, you get a free website. So
now, before we go into what are some of the keys for ranking your site higher, which I'd like to ask that, if people want to get a website assessment or something, can they do that with you?
Yeah. Yep. So Perfect Patients, we will always offer a free website evaluation. So if you're curious where you're ranking, if you're curious, how's my SEO help? What could be better? Do I have good calls to actions? Things like that. Reach out. We love looking at websites. We're happy to give feedback and help you and give you things to implement on your own. If you're interested in our services, obviously we're happy to discuss that too. So perfectpatients.com is your easiest one, or you can do /evaluation. But that just allows you to kind of submit your information, book a time to go over it with us, and we'll just share how you can improve your site.
Excellent, excellent. Now, and I cannot recommend that enough for people. And again, I don't need to say this. I already have a free website, but seriously, our traffic, our rankings have completely changed the game for our office. And this was a huge area of pain for many, many years for us in terms of our practice. So now, I'd like to say, or ask rather, what are some of those keys that you think that are vital for someone to move their website up the ladder?
Sure. Yeah. So search engine optimization is definitely, there's a lot of factors that go into it. There's probably hundreds, if not more, right? But there's a couple key ones that have the biggest factor in ranking impact. So some things to consider. You want a secure certificate. That's a basic one. So it's a SSL certificate. Your site's secure. People's information is secure. That's just, if you don't have that, people are probably getting the warnings like, oh no, this, don't go to this site kind of thing. So basic stuff there. Other things to look at is your amount of content. Content is king. What Google's bots are crawling your page. If you have sparse content, if there's not a whole lot in there, if Google thinks most of your keywords are book now, call today, book now, call today, instead of chiropractic or chiropractor, right? So think of what kind of content is on your website. Usually we say about 300 to 500 words on your homepage is the sweet spot. So if you don't have 300 to 500 words on your homepage, start looking at ways that you could potentially increase that. But obviously tactfully, right? So not just a bunch of keyword stuffing, but giving that patient journey, educational information, and persuasive information, why they should choose you, and make it about you. That's the other thing is they do want to learn about you and why they should choose you. By the time that they're doing their research to find a chiropractor, they probably already know what a chiropractor does, what kind of training a chiropractor has had. So those kinds of things might not be as impactful as here's why I'm a good fit for you. Here's what kind of care I'll give you. And that's kind of what we would focus on there. But so
Wow.
300 to 500 words. Yep. And then the biggest thing and the most simple thing is your title tags and headers. Now, these are terms that most chiropractors probably wouldn't know unless you've taken a website design class or an SEO course or something. But when we talk about a title tag, if you go to a website on desktop and you have like tabs open, let's say you hover over the tab of your website, a little drop down box is going to come up and it's going to tell you what that title tag is. So Dr. Danny, if we go to yours right now.
You're doing that. I'm not doing it.
Yep, I'm doing
Okay.
it. So we see Boulder Chiropractor CO Network Wellness Center. So that's the title tag that we see there. And that's if you go to boulderchiropractor.com. So you can hover over that tab and see that. Now, what this is telling Google is Google's bots are crawling the page and they're looking for this title tag. So now we're telling Google, this website, this homepage is most relevant and should show up for searches when someone types in chiropractor in Boulder or Boulder chiropractor, chiropractor Boulder, chiropractor near me when they're located in Boulder, right? So we've informed Google that this website's relevant to your location and your main keyword of chiropractor. Now, the second thing we've informed Google is your practice name, Network Wellness Center, right? So those two things are hugely important. That's a big mistake we see very often is that just says home, or it says Boulder chiropractor, massage, spinal decompression, personal injury, and dry needling. So now you've got 6 keywords
Right.
in one page, and Google goes, well, what one is it? Oh my goodness, right? So keep those for their individual pages and keep your homepage targeted on your main service or main keyword. If you don't let Google know this, right? So this is also what shows up in the SERPs, is what we call it, the search engine results page. But when you Google something, you'll see your title tag is the part in blue, right? So you'll see the blue little thing that will say Boulder Chiropractic Colorado Network Wellness Center. You'll look at other ones and see that they might say something similar or their practice name. Some will say home. But so that's hugely important. If you want us to look at your title tags, again, reach out. We're happy to kind of go over what that looks like. And then similar to that is your on-page SEO, the headers, right? So once you get on that website, oftentimes what we see, which makes sense from a branding perspective, but oftentimes we see this the first header or the first bit of text, the biggest words on the website start with more of like your vision or your value statement or your kind of slogan, which from a branding perspective is great, but now you're telling Google that you're focused on, better health for the whole family, but no one's searching better health for the whole family, right? So keeping that, strategically implementing, your Boulder chiropractor focused on bringing better help to the entire family, right? So how can you incorporate that to say your slogan or your, keywords with it, right? So those are things that are huge and going to make a big difference. If you don't have your location with your main keyword, Google just can't help you. They have no idea. So
now with all of these things, I have to tell you, my head's spinning because I don't want to do any of that. To be honest. Well, it's like some people really enjoy their lawn and doing things with their lawn. And if someone told me to do this and this and aerate this, I'm like, my head's spinning. I don't want to do any of it. So this is very similar. Like, I don't want to spend time doing any of that. I want someone to do that for me. So I'm really grateful that you guys do. And now with that next thing, reviews. How important are a person's reviews?
Yeah. So recent Bright Local study will tell us that obviously reviews are extremely important. They impact people's decisions. Again, come back to your own habits, right? Do you read reviews? Do you care, what people are saying about a restaurant or a place or, these kinds of things? It's very much impactful. Reviews are something that is perception. Okay. So there's important things to consider with reviews. You want a high rating. You want a decent number of reviews. They say for healthcare, they say around 40. You need more than 40 reviews for people to really start to believe it or think that you're super
interesting.
Yeah. So try to get at least above there if you're not there already. The other thing is relevancy and recency, right? So was your last review 3 years ago? I'm going to wonder if you're still in practice. Right? So try to keep them very consistent or at least recent, right? An interesting thing about reviews, and this is where a lot of people don't take advantage of this. The Bright Local study said that 88% of consumers will highly consider or look at a practice that responds to reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are not responding to your reviews, both positive and negative, right? Now, obviously, you're in healthcare, you've got some HIPAA compliance things in different jurisdictions, make sure you're within range there. But just the act of responding, thanking them, interacting is giving you another big perception of what these patients can expect from you. It shows your personality, your level of care. We're grateful for your feedback, for your reviews. So if you're not responding, I highly encourage you to do that. The other thing is, oftentimes people are so worried about getting a negative review. They're so worried. And a negative review is actually a huge opportunity for you. Not saying that you want them or should get them, but if it happens, again, think of your own habits, right? If I see a negative review, I'll probably, I'll read it and be like, okay, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. Was this person having a rough day? What was the situation? But more importantly, how does this practice or this practitioner reply and handle this feedback? So that's a big opportunity for you to show up with grace, show up with, just being able to showcase, wow, they handled that really well. I have more respect for them now. That negative review is not going to impact my decision because there's all these hundreds of other positive ones or whatnot too. So reviews, they can't be ignored. And honestly, there's a lot of systems for it. There's a lot of processes for it. But the easiest and the best, most tried and true way, if you have a good relationship with somebody and you know that they're happy with your care, just ask them.
Now, does that also end up affecting your SEO?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So as for the map ranking or the map pack or local pack, whatever, they change the name of it all the time. It is a big factor. Now, Google isn't as forthcoming with the playbook as far as all of what goes into the map pack ranking. But there's a lot of studies and a lot of, reputable SEO companies that will say that it reviews, the number of reviews, the frequency, engagement on them, those all impact your map. So if you have a high number of reviews, if you're consistently getting reviews, that will ultimately impact your SEO and you showing up in that map section. Yeah.
Excellent. So, is there any last thing or something like chiropractors, please do this, you want to tell them to do because it's impacting how much help they can give people?
Yeah, yes, there's a lot, but I'll come back to the comment you said earlier, Dr. Danny, and I think one thing that is great about Perfect Patients is we are chiropractic specific and we are chiropractic advocates. So we do truly love this profession. We truly love this community, and we do all believe that the world would be better if more people were adjusted. So if we can help you help more people, that's just what we want to do. Okay. So when you talked about lawn care and just my head spinning. Okay. So I understand that there's benefits and cost benefits to creating your own site or having your friend's cousin's brother or whatever do it. I implore you to think of the opportunity cost, right? What kind of ROI are you getting? Yes, you can do your own taxes. Yes, you can mow your own lawn, but would your time be better spent elsewhere? We are experts in this field. We've been doing this for almost 20 years now. We've helped hundreds and thousands of chiropractors reach many, many new patients. So even if you don't want us to manage your site, please let us take a look. Please let us give you feedback. If we can help you implement it or save you some time, we're happy to. Of course, if you want to offload that responsibility, I will say we would love to give you some time back and help you reach more people. So,
Well, and having a high converting website will help you do that.
right. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know what? My hands would do better adjusting people than doing
Then figuring out what a title tag is.
Yes, exactly, for sure. So, and again, I cannot thank you enough for helping chiropractors. I've heard story after story about the impact the work you do has done for other chiropractic offices when people thank me, and I'm sure you hear that as well. So,
Yeah.
and the ultimate thing is then thanking the people, and realizing that that means that there's people getting help that would not have gotten it. So, because they're going to a great chiropractor. So, thank you
Yeah.
so much for all that hard work.
Absolutely. It's fulfilling. We love our jobs here. We love helping this profession. So it's an honor, honestly.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Lauren, and thank everybody at Perfect Patients. And I implore you just at least do a website audit with them, if that's the appropriate term, to review your site with Perfect Patients. And I know you'll be glad you did. So. Keep changing spines, lives, and minds with chiropractic, and we look forward to seeing everyone live at Mile High 12. Oh my God, Mile High 12. And just coming up here, and we look forward to seeing you. Make sure you hit subscribe, and you never miss any Mile High Tick.
This is Mile High.
Do I want to tell the story or do I want to show the message?
You've got a lot of work to do between Mile High.
The time has come where we can know
We have a responsibility, an ethical and moral responsibility.
We have to do it better in order to move people along.
Up, down, inside out.
If you get your mind right, it is not. It is a receiver of thought. Because love is my first technique.
It's now time for the show.